Hey y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. Today we are finally getting to finish. I know it's only been about a year, so I'm really happy. We're going to be getting the finish on the base as well as the finish on the underside of the table here, and I cannot tell you how happy I am with how this came out. Just flabbergasted. So let's dive in and take a look at it. In the last video we did all the smoothing, we did all the carving, we got everything ready. And so after doing like another 5 or 6 hours of it off camera, it is all here and ready to be finished. Now we're going to be using Rubio Monocoat. This is a very simple, durable finish. It gives a very similar color to boiled linseed oil as it's an oil-based finish, and it's a very easy finish to put on. As Monocoat, as it says, it goes on one coat and you're done. It's literally just wipe on, wipe off, buff it in, and you're good to go. Let it sit overnight and voila. Now if you use it with just the oil, it takes a long time to set, but they have an accelerator that you can mix in with it, and this makes it so that it will set completely in 24 hours. Now it's designed for wood floors, so you know it's durable and should be pretty good for a table. I've also done several tests, and so I'm really happy with the way it's coming out, and everything is ready, everything is in place. So let's get to starting to put some finish on this table. All the finish is on the base and we can start focusing on the top, and this is where things start to get exciting because these slabs are absolutely gorgeous and I'm looking forward to looking at this table for hours and hours. Now I'm going to be keeping this bottom rough. I want to keep the epoxy spill out. I want to keep the history. I want to show the work that was done on the bottom of this. So I'm not going to be doing a whole lot to it. I'm not going to flatten it out. I'm not going to smooth it. But what I am going to do is there's a bunch of little places where the epoxy has created a bit of a rough edge. Then I'm going to come through with a chisel and card scraper and a few other things and clean off all those rough edges. So if your hand slides underneath, it's not going to get cut. There's nothing rough that's going to catch on it. And then we're going to be working on the edges and cleaning up the live edges, getting those ready for finish, putting a coat of finish on this side. So let's dive in. So the top is relatively smooth. I'm probably going to go over it in detail a little bit more just before we finish it, probably with the card scraper. But now I actually want to work on the edges, and I have this natural live edge on here I want to keep on. The problem with it is it's got all this black junk I want to get off and get it down to a nice smooth surface. So I'm going to be using a combination of draw knives, spoke shaves, and card scrapers to clean that off, kind of round the edge a little bit, and give an ever so slight chamfer to the top edge of it. Then when I get into the epoxy, I'm going to be doing a good bit more work, actually working into the epoxy and cleaning that out. So that's going to be kind of fun to make sure everything runs smoothly on that. But yeah, let's dive in and show you what I'm talking about. Now on the corners, especially the two on this end, they kind of come out into this point, and I don't like that on a table. It's just a reason for someone to walk by and bash their head into this, especially someone short. And so what I'm thinking about is cutting these off at a 45-degree angle and doing that on all four corners. And that way it will kind of tie it in with the base, having such large chamfers on all the corners. That will then bring this to look a little bit more like the base and be one more thing to tie them together. So we're going to draw a line on here and cut off all four corners, and then keep on going around. So everything is relatively smooth to the touch. There's nothing that's going to catch your hands. Everything is just about ready. I've finished the sides. They're not completely finished. I'm going to be doing the final detail on them when I flip it over and do the top. But now I'm just going to go over this whole thing with a fine-tooth comb and a card scraper and get it down close to where I want it for finishing. And then we're going to clean it off and finish the bottom. Woo, let's do it. It's finally that time. We're going to put a finish on the bottom of the table, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this red oak comes live. We're going to be using Rubio Monocoat again, and so I've got everything set up. We're going to do some mixing and then pouring it on. So there you have it. This is exactly what I want. I want this rough. I want the unfinished. I want to tell the story about the table. I absolutely love it. This is precisely what I want to come out. And I know this is going to really drive some people absolutely crazy that I left it like this. Most people will be like, smooth it all out, flatten the thing out. No, that's not what I want. I want this look. This is the story of the table, and this is beautiful. And I will probably spend some time on my floor, upside down underneath the table, looking up at this in the future. It is just absolutely gorgeous. But we still got to do the other side of the table. So come back next time. We're going to flip this table over. We're going to finish the other side and hopefully get it upstairs and done in the next video. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you are. If you have any questions or ideas, thoughts, please let me know in the comments below. Also, if you'd like to see any of the tools that I use or other things along the way, you can see a list of those in the description below as well. So that's about it for today, and until next time, have a wonderful day. Would you like to come help me move this upstairs?